Hello, humans. I'm Academy Award-winning actor Nicolas Cage, and it's your honor to be here with me this afternoon. Woo! I heard they were making a new episode of Joseph Reads Things to a Puppy, and you know I wasn't going to miss that. Cameron, what do we got?
What we've got is Josephied History Episode 7. It is about a 16th century widow who opened a ninja academy posing as a foster home, and we are going to serve that up to Captain Marvel and get some expert critiquing going on. CamannWordsmith patrons, how are you? You're looking great. I'm so happy that you're here. I am ready. I'm willing to bet that you're ready. Nicolas Cage, are you ready?
Absolutely positively.
Then Zachary, cue the theme music.
Hit us up, bro. I've never gotten to play a shark yet, or a heat-seeking panther. I want to be an ill-tempered grilled cheese. I feel like that's the key to happiness, being harmonious with the provolone.
And room and board weren't free. Students had to earn their place. And they did that, obviously, by becoming ninjas. And for Chiyomay, Takeda's military victories doubled as revenge for her husband's murder. The lesson here is, start a secret ninja academy. It was a genius arrangement for everyone involved. In the Takeda clan, anyway. She was well aware that the entire province was chock full of orphans, widows, runaways, and lost girls. The brilliance of the lie, Cats and Kittens, is that it wasn't entirely a lie. Is it because I said cats and kittens? Chiyomay students did receive the support. There's one pickle of which we are aware. It's impossible to become a celebrity warlord without annoying some fools. Takeda found himself dodging assassinations quite often, and his entourage was perpetually at risk of being infiltrated by spies, assassins, and Johnny Drama. When presented with information that can't easily be verified, we shall ask ourselves what the esteemed Mr. Mercury might conclude. It's what Dr. Brian May would do if he were learning about ninjas. Sengoku was one of the most violent eras in Japan's history, and it's sometimes referred to as the Era of Warring States. Almost 1100 years earlier, Sengoku was one of the most violent eras in China also had an uber-bloody conflict that lasted several centuries, and its name was the Era of Warring States. You may recall a similar case in Kenshin experienced severe stomach cramps around the 10th of every... Listen, I'm not taking it personally, she doesn't seem to be resonating with the subject matter. So here's the deal. Her ninjas planted rumors, scoped around secret areas and looked really cool doing it, and seduced a bunch of muffin heads who like to talk too much and were not the sharpest tools in the shed. This is a barn. I mean, I didn't mean any offense. Chiyomay also taught her students many of the same ninjutsu. I don't have a carrot. Although they generally avoided physical combat, her ninjas could kill a man as quickly as possible, just in case. What are you doing? Like Jedi Knights, they'd slice an arm out of necessity, but spent most of their workday doing mind tricks and unappreciated flips. When he's all like, hello there. Possible that the other Takeda clan lords were less than thrilled about working with women. Without Takeda around, they could have orchestrated her execution. I can't tell if you're nodding or if you're yawning. If it was a yawn, like move your head to the right. Was that to the right? Was that a nod? The question of whether or not they were real, and if they were real, exactly what it was that they did, it's rather contentious among contemporary Japanese historians. See, Chiyomay isn't mentioned until 1971 in a book called Investigation of Japanese History, and the author is not an academic, he's actually a novelist. I can get you a copy of the book. It's going to take a couple days. I appreciate wanting to independently identify sources. Hey, come back! This is one place where all of us at least have some common ground, where everybody agrees that she's beloved, and that of course is video games. She is an NPC in Pokemon Conquest, not one of the more popular Pokemon titles, but I'm sure that you've heard of it. She's a playable character in Innocent World, which is the Japanese version of Aura Kingdom. Excuse me, unless you were expressing love for Aura Kingdom. I can go back inside, I can download it. You can play 2 different versions of her as a cat girl. Which one do you want? Like the partial cat girl or the full cat girl? I suspect that most accounts stating that these female ninjas were cosplaying geisha, those are my notes. But then professors at Mii University loudly denounce all that jibba-jabba. There's an associate professor there. He teaches literature from the Japanese Edo period as well as ninja literature, because that's the thing, and he is positive that Chiyomay is a fictional character. I know! Now he says that, he also notes that the permission slip that Takeda supposedly gave Chiyomay for creating the Academy, that's not real, and even when documents like that do show up, they're usually forgeries. Furthermore, Inakake's descriptions about the Miko's spy activities are unsubstantiated, and although he refers to a book titled History of Japanese Miko published in 1930, that book contains no references to ninjas!
That was just... I don't have words, man. The words I don't have, they're like if I was wearing a wig made of words, but people couldn't see it and I couldn't see them not seeing it, and that glorious contradiction transformed it into a wig, and then the universe yelled yes. That's what that was like.
That really says it all. And, I know that at first glance, maybe it seems like we didn't get enough constructive criticism today, that maybe the feedback wasn't quite what we were looking for, but we are talking about ninjas here. And I feel like the reluctance on Captain Marvel's part to comment in depth is itself a comment. And I think that we can all take something away from that. Thank you so much, CamannWordsmith patrons, as always, for sponsoring this series and everything we do. Thank you to you, Nicolas Cage, for lending us your support. We appreciate that.
Anytime, man.
Stay cool in this heat wave, keep doing what you're doing, and we will see you again soon.
This episode really put fire in my belly, I've got a bunch of irons in the fire right now, and Captain Marvel's performance here just makes me really tap into the dark genius of my characters. It's honest, and I appreciate that. Much love. Yowza.